Hey guys, I wanted to make a quick video today to talk about your first project. A lot of you have had questions about your project, so I wanted to give you some information for your first one. If you go on Blackboard, you can print off the instructions. Your first project is the materials list. So you can print off your instructions and print off the grading rubric. This is really important so you can make sure that you've done everything necessary to earn all of your points. So, the materials list. Congratulations, you have been given $800. A fake $800 because you are starting your own practice and it is your responsibility to build up your resource room. You will be serving clients ages 3 to 21 and they will have a variety of disorders. So everything from fluency, articulation, language, voice, social skills, pragmatics. So in this project, you will need to first make sure that you stay in your budget of $800. Now, when you are factoring up the cost, it is just the cost of the item. You don't have to include the cost of tax or shipping. So we're going to pretend that we don't have to deal with that. Next, you need to make sure the materials that you buy are appropriate for the ages 3 to 21. So you might have a variety of materials or toys or resources to hit that variety of ages. You will also need to buy a variety of materials to support your variety of disorders. So we want to make sure that we have a couple of resources for each different disorder. I think this is a really fun project. I hope you have a lot of fun with it. In real life, if you're in a school or you have a private practice, you will generally have funds and you will get to determine what kind of resources do you want to buy. Even if you're in a healthcare setting, you still get to pick out materials to buy for your therapy. So, some things you need to include when you're making your list. There are 8 things that you have to include. First is the item name. So tell me, what is the item called? Tell me the company that you found this item at. So everybody thinks it's Super Duper, and that's a great resource. So you might find things at Super Duper, LinguaSystems, Lakeshore Learning. You might find something on teacherspayteachers.com. And most of these places have websites, so you should just be able to pull up their website and find some things. If you're old school and you have a catalog, use the catalog. Use whatever you need to find these things. So tell me, item name, company name, address of the company, phone number and fax number of the company, the item number. When you look things up online, you'll see sometimes it has like a letter and then like a string of numbers to be able to identify that item. The price. I want a short description of the item and tell me how it will relate to your clients. How do you plan to use this in therapy? That's obviously the most important part. I hope you find this project to be really practical. Like I said, no matter what setting you're in, you will probably at some point get to choose some resources to purchase. And everything that we've listed, part of the 8 pieces of information for each item, are all things that you have to look up online and find when you are actually ordering those items. So in schools, you use purchase orders and you have to supply all that information to your bookkeeper, who then puts the order in. If you're in a healthcare setting, you would have to find all that information to give to your rehab director. And in private practice, you would probably, if you own the private practice, would be responsible for documenting all of that. So today I'm in my classroom and I wanted to show you a couple of materials just to get your juices flowing, just so you can have some examples of maybe what you need to purchase. Okay, so my first one is flavored tongue depressors. Guys, I love this and my kids love this. So I work obviously with children, and a lot of children don't want that nasty tongue depressor going in their mouth. It reminds them of the doctor's office. And so, sometimes that makes them really uneasy. But if it's flavored, they suddenly get really excited about it. So I purchased these with school money from Super Duper. Um, so if I was working on my project and I found flavored tongue depressors, so my item name is flavored tongue depressors. Company name would be Super Duper Inc. or Incorporated. The address, I don't know the exact address, but it would be 123 Mary Lane, Greenville, South Carolina, zip code 4321. Their phone number and their fax number, the item number. So if you look this up on the Super Duper catalog or the Super Duper website, you would see an item number. So it may be B865233. The price will say $9.99 for a box of flavored tongue depressors and a short description of the item. So this is obviously flavored tongue depressor. There's your description, not hard. And how will this relate to your clients? How do you plan to implement this in therapy? So you might say, to better instruct students on where to place articulators when targeting articulation goals, I will use a flavored tongue depressor to show them where to hold their tongue or to help them manipulate their articulators. Short, sweet, to the point, not complicated. Don't tell me that you're using it in therapy to have fun. Fun doesn't cut it. Gotta have like a specific goal that we're going after here. Another thing, articulation cards. Now, these are really expensive. So when looking at your budget, you need to prioritize. You may say, you know what? I can make my own articulation cards. I can print pictures and words out and glue them on index cards and laminate that. And I've done that before. So you may say that's not an item I need to purchase because I can make it for cheaper myself. So you may or may not want to purchase articulation cards. You may only need to purchase a few of the phonemes. You may not need that whole Super Duper box of 10 different sounds. Just another example. Another example, if you want to reach outside of just the traditional LinguaSystems or Super Duper, you might look at teacherspayteachers.com, and that is a website that a lot of my teachers in my school use, and I use it as well. So this would be an example of something that I got from Teachers Pay Teachers. So I needed a resource that would help me teach figurative language to some of my students who struggle with social skills, and they're very literal. And so figurative language is a really, really difficult challenge for them. So obviously this page is about idioms. But you look it up, say this price is $5 on Teachers Pay Teachers, and then I printed it out and laminated it. Obviously for the project, you don't have to have the actual material. I just need the description and how much it cost, where you got it from, again, everything listed. So, one more thing I was going to show you. These are language picture cards. So for this one, I might say using picture cards to help target language goals such as naming nouns, action words, using descriptors, using adjectives, expanding their language, expanding utterances. So there are a lot of different things you could target with these picture cards. So just a few ideas. If you need more ideas, talk to some graduate students that are in clinic and see what resources they use frequently. Go look in the resource room at the clinic. See what they have. See what you think you would like to use. Some of you may already know, I hate this particular item. I would never purchase it in a million years. Don't put it on your materials list. Find the things that you would think would be appropriate. And again, make sure that you have items appropriate for those ages. And not that every item will be appropriate for all ages. Some items are only going to be appropriate for a preschool group of kids. Some items are only going to be appropriate for the high school group of kids. So have a variety. And again, make sure that you hit every disorder listed in your instruction sheet. So I hope you have fun. This will be due Tuesday, September 20th by 5 o'clock. Again, more instructions will be on Blackboard. I'll put up announcements to help you remember, and be sure you print off your instructions from Blackboard.